I'm very into some anime. And I'm bougie about it. I get all the mangas too.
Welcome to the Tokyo Glory After Show!
You're so
I don't know.
What's that song called?
It's like at sporting events they do it.
Anywho, so I am Zach. This is Dan.
It's me.
Tis me.
It is me. Welcome.
I'm Zach, he's Dan. You can just go with
Zach.
names.
Dan, yeah. Dan, Zach.
Yeah. But yeah, so we are talking about episode 9.
Episode 9.
9?
Episode 9. I made sure to check it.
Yeah, the dad looking guy. That one's the bald guy.
Okay.
See, I'm not, it's just this widow's peak. It's real bad. Anyway, episode 9. It was, I enjoyed this episode. It is definitely a setup, more of a filler episode, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It made the series to me look a lot more like a traditional anime that was kind of, it had some fun elements. It was a little bit goofy. One thing Tokyo Ghoul does not fuck about. They do not do goofy.
It's strange. We've gotten a lot more goofy this season than we have in the past 2 seasons. Not that I'm disappointed or upset about it. It's just it's there, and it is nice because we do have our lead, Heisei, is more of a lighthearted character and not as, I don't know, dragged through the dirt as Kaneki was. So
exactly. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. And it was super simple. The episode really just covered kind of more of an introduction into the Tsukiyama family and how they feel about the Rosewalds and whatnot, and how Tsukiyama specifically feels about Kane, actually, more than most things. And then it delved into who seems like he's turning into like a villain of this arc is the Kojima. He's
like the motto on like some dirty steroids.
Yes, absolutely. He's a more sadistic Motto. Like Motto really actually was like he had his set of codes and morals, and
he was a genius to some extent as well. As far as like Quinkys and things like that goes.
Yeah, and absolutely. Like Motto's and code, they just I feel like their motivations are different. Like Kojima seems to be more like a complete like psychopath. He is nuts and he's dark and sadistic, and he seems to care more about actually the torture and the pain more so than the actual final goal. As Motto was more involved in the goal than the killing. Yeah,
the Kojima. It seems that he doesn't care how he gets there or what road he takes. He's just he's more about the journey and not the destination. I feel like
exactly
the worst way possible.
Yeah, and he's a psychopath. Yeah. So yeah, and it was a simple episode. Like not a whole lot happened. We did see this kind of like a confusion happening where Agori is mixing in with Rosé and whatnot, and it's sort of throwing all this off. And there is,
and it's making things like as far as like factions go, like kind of like they're blurring the lines between like Rosé and Irogiri. It's like now the CCG thinks that they work together as opposed to like before where they were two separate entities.
Exactly, which is problematic as a viewer, because now like the question becomes like how do they, like, so they're all connected, they all seem to know each other. The fact that Kanai or whatever can just walk up and be like, hey, got a job for you. So who's in charge? Who's doing what? And because they keep switching, like at almost the end of every episode, you just have a little Eto sitting up watching, and so she seems to be this overlord, tiny overlord. But then at the same time, like Tsukiyama family can just come in and sort of run the gambit. Like it's very interesting. This episode didn't give really any answers to anything, just brought a lot up.
Yeah, it did. We started with Tsukiyama going after and seeking out Kaneki, which didn't go like really according to plan, as far as like he wanted to. They did tease us with like that moment of like frozen moment where it's back and forth. They're just like, are you okay, man?
I still think Heisei's already switched. But it was cool. So I'm still wondering, like, I really think Heisei is like almost accepted that he now has really made this transition. But yeah, no, I think he's made the transition because I think he's hiding something. And I think the show is doing this very actively. Like I've told you before, it shows that his hair is almost completely black again.
Yes.
Almost as if he's coming over the trauma that he went through and coming back to kind of like traditional Kaneki, which could be good, could be bad. They're kind of teasing that in a lot of ways. Like you said, there was a moment where he recognized Tsukiyama, he recognizes Tuka, like he has all these moments, and they're really pushing the fact that maybe he's coming back, and the Heisei inside it is actually becoming weaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was exciting, and it was a super cool episode. Before we get into like the actual specifics and characters and stuff, though, like with how'd you feel about the actual art of this one? Because last week was a standout.
This was as far when it comes to art. I was underwhelmed. Like I rewatched it again this morning, and that's something I paid closer attention to. I wasn't just trying to get all the notes as far as like take it in the main points. But this time I dove in and like started analyzing the art and the music and things like that. And the art itself, I was underwhelmed, especially in the combat. I feel like the combat was nowhere near as cool as last week's episode. Especially because I feel like the fight between Grave Robber and Toru could have been way more like intense. And we also did not get any of Heisei fighting. And he just like took out that was 15 dudes.
It was kind of cool though. It was kind of badass to be like, oh shit, what's going to happen? He walks into the room. When they walk into the room, there's just bodies littered. Which almost is, I get that as an artistic choice.
Yes.
To say that they kind of left us in doubt, gave us a cliffhanger, and then rather than just showing us another fight that was kind of unnecessary, like that fight didn't mean anything. They just walked in and you're like, oh shit, he's a badass. Like, and you got to feel that,
and
just like
and Urie had his like other thing where it's just like where I think it was another moment where he's like, holy shit, like Heisei is like, like he's still in another league.
Wrecked like 15 people. That was crazy. But yeah, no, I absolutely, speaking of the Mutsuki fight, or Toru, not just with this new Agori member, but when she was slashing a torso, like it was very obviously like old school cheap animation where it was just like slash lines, hits, like barely any movement, quick cuts, and rather than give it a real fight and have her actually hurt him, they just did these cheap slices,
and then like zoom on his face with like the blood doing it is like like stick me or stab me, or
and that's just a cheap way to do animation. But it works. Like it was, I get it. I understand what was happening there, but yeah, they definitely stuck some money in to last episode, and then this episode they just fell off the ball again.
Yeah.
What I did like artistically, and the same thing happened last episode. I brought this up. I harped on it. I love whoever is drawing and animating Black Eyes, our favorite, Uta.
Yeah.
Those scenes are always so beautiful. Like they look more picturesque rather than like computer generated.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a portrait, and like I'm not sure if it's the lighting or like. Well, Uta has been, I would say every moment with Uta throughout the entire series has been really, really good.
Spot on.
Yeah.
And they just seem to give it a bit more credence because the scene with Uta, the whole Queen Squad walks in to get masks. And it's a super simple scene, not a lot going on. All it is them just talking to him, and Uta's kind of taking these measurements, and he's asking these weird questions, and it's almost silly, but it's very kind of sweet. They have a soft piano playing, and like everyone's kind of nervous of Uta. However, he's just super cool and super kind and collected, and he's gonna do whatever Heisei says because he has this connection. And I loved it. I loved that scene. I thought the scene was very well done.
I thought it was a well done scene. One of my favorite things was just like Urie having the same thought that all the viewers had last week, where it's just like, wait, shouldn't we like report this guy or something like that?
He's definitely a ghoul.
Yeah.
Should we check him?
Yeah, like should we? Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad that they addressed that, but
absolutely.
And it also makes sense why Kaneki, not Kaneki, but Heisei did not report him because he had a plan.
Yeah,
like there's a plan going on. And it's like if you were to report the mask guy, like, and he has ghoul connections, like how are you going to that's an in into the ghoul world like he wants to have. So
exactly, and it's and my point, but back to the art of it. Like once again, so this show Tokyo Ghoul, like when you do anime of any sort, especially so if you look back to anime like pre 2010, say like a Cowboy Bebop, old school Berserk. something like that. You have everything's done picturesque because people actually had to paint or draw the actual things, and then you would photograph that as a plate, and then you animate over that plate. So everything was beautiful and picturesque. And when computers started taking over for art in cartoons of any sort, you now end up having these like digital designs where like you have like heavy involvement on certain items that are going to be action oriented, some that are not, and then it all looks really. Like it looks more cartoonish rather than a painting, but for some reason, just the Uta scenes, it's always so beautiful and picturesque. It looks like they actually took the time to actually do like classic style. Keep whacking the mic. Classic style art, and I really, really love it. And I don't know why they don't do it more. Like it's so
it's probably
weird.
a money thing.
I know.
Computers make things easier, and you can do things for cheaper, and blah blah blah.
You can tell the
blah.
studio loves Uta though, because he's the only one, like literally the only character that they give credence to.
Yeah.
But besides, like, I'm with you. I think the fights were kind of weak. They're really like it just they took a step back. But never. I didn't like the art this week. That's about it. That's all I got.
It was underwhelming. The moment with Tsukiyama sitting down next to Heisei which was a very interesting moment because it was like which he does know Kaneki better than Heisei knows Kaneki, but they did a great job showing that Heisei is his own different person. Something that Kaneki did like and love, Heisei doesn't care for, which is the Takasuki books. Which
that delves into some like philosophy that we're going to talk about in a minute. But so with our characters here, so there was a couple standouts for me. Obviously, this episode was at least half the episode was given Tsukiyama.
Yes,
which is good because he's been absent for so long.
He's been a bit wrapped up.
Exactly, specifically a bit wrapped up by himself. But I thought they did it well. They did more than the manga did to make him seem like this obsession and this like hyper need to be near.
Yeah, but that was one of the things. It wasn't like creepy Tsukiyama like I want to eat you or like whatever. Yeah. It was like a genuine like friendship. It's like no, this is my friend. Like it's like I need to like help him realize who he is and blah blah blah. And I was like this is an odd direction that this is taken as opposed to Tsukiyama in season 1.
Exactly, and it's very odd, and that's like so the way it seems that they're doing like so Tsukiyama originally, of course, like he was the gourmet. He wanted to eat Kenkaki because he was the most delicious, and that kind of drove him insane a little bit.
He was the tastiest boy,
and he's just the tastiest boy. But I feel like what's interesting to hear now is seems to have happened is now that Kaneki's kind of grown to this like god status, like he is such a badass now, and he became such a badass to Tsukiyama that I feel like that need to eat him has almost turned into like now that he recognizes how powerful this kid is, it's almost more of like a worship. Like he doesn't seem as a friend. It almost seems like he is like in love and obsessed, like a zealot, like
he's like following some sort of leader of some sort of mission or
because that's what it like they're. And then once again, like this, so this is a bit skewed from the manga because he really does like he when he speaks about him, it's a love, like an obsession, and that is
like Kane with Tsukiyama is like Tsukiyama is Kaneki's Kane.
Absolutely,
I would say at this point,
and we've dealt a lot with that. This show, the anime is really digging into the nature of like obsession and what it's
with Torso, Tsukiyama.
Yeah, all these things. Yeah. I mean, all the people that are in love with Kaneki, which is everyone. And it's very odd. But I liked his arc. Heisei didn't really have anything this time. And I do like what they're really turning Urei into like the badass.
Yeah, no, this time it's like like you said, he's gained. I think either you or I said it a couple of episodes ago that he now has focus.
Yes.
He has a purpose, he has drive. He's not just a wild card just trying to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
So like now he has this purpose to be the best, but in a positive sense.
I think he's finally became part of the team.
Yeah.
I think that's really like what's happening. He's no longer I'm going to do everything alone, I don't trust you, I don't like you. Like he's finally becoming part of the team. Like he respects them a little bit.
Which even likes Toru a little bit.
Yeah.
He likes just a little bit.
A little bit. But yeah, and those are really like the only standout real characters. Even like with the bad guys, we didn't really get much. We did you got to see once again this giant man in a black cloak. Who's this person just dealing out damage?
Yeah, just
Nobody
like
knows.
one hit with a
little creepy spider monkey monster.
Which
was pretty badass.
Yeah.
He did walk in and just toss that.
My favorite thing though was that when he went flying across the screen, he goes, "Ouch!"
Just, ouch,
ouch.
Yeah.
It was great.
But yeah, no, but it's interesting. They're like this whole episode was really just teasers. There's a bunch of teasers for next week.
Yeah, especially at the end, like the post credit thing.
Because the post-credit thing actually didn't even show anything big this time. I don't really know what's...
We don't... It was very... There was a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I think I saw glimpses of, like, doves inside the Tsukiyama house.
Hopefully. Because, yeah, they said it's Operation Tsukiyama's happening.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, we'll see what happens with that.
But yeah, digging back... So, talking about this sort of philosophical sense, bring it up... What were you talking about again?
It was at Tsukiyama's... like how it's like a friendship and like a not so much of a it's not like I want to eat you or like I want to love you type of thing. It's like I want to follow you type of a thing.
Yes. I guess we accidentally kind of sort of went into that, but that's one thing that I did want to bring up in this sort of the one thing this show does really well, and it's not just with him. Like the show is a psychological horror. That's what it is at its core. Yes. And what they're doing, I think, is kind of brilliant, is they're bringing out this thing, like, when people are in fear, pain, like, some sort of excess emotion of any sort, people need something. They need a reason, a path, a focus of some sort. And what this show has done very well, and what the manga does, the one thing that I think the show is doing almost more so than the manga did, is showing how people need a leader or something to follow. And so this like worship of people, this everyone needs Kaneki back. Or if they don't have that, they need Kisho Rima. If they don't need that, they need the one-eyed king. They need something or another. And everyone is just obsessed. Like no one in the show takes responsibility really for anything.
Except for Toka. She's also the one character who's like doing well. Like she's like, I got my coffee shop. I'm doing my thing.
She hasn't really had much of an arc at all in this season.
We've seen her like what, maybe 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's really all I want to get. This episode showed it very well that it's going to. That's your girl.
That's my girl.
And I feel like it's only going to get worse as it moves on. But it's a very interesting thing to me. It's this very like Jean Rousseau kind of feel of like people need this like they need a civilization, a contract, something to follow and rules.
Yes.
And so everyone's looking for that, and everyone's lost in the whole show. And I like that. It's very human of the show, even though it's about ghouls. Like it is a very human thing that people are scared all the time.
Life imitating art, again. Ooh. That's so strange.
Was there anything that stood out to you that you did not like?
I guess I didn't like was like obviously the art took a step back from last week, which I didn't really appreciate. Well, not so much the art, but the animation.
Yeah.
I also it's not so much of a dislike as just kind of like a negative, just like a lot of setting up. Like we were posed with a lot of questions, and we didn't really get kind of like a. I feel like there wasn't something in this episode to like hold on to. Like there wasn't a moment where I was just
like I can't think of like a climax of the episode.
Yeah, no, there's nothing where it's just like that's what this was this episode. Yeah. You know, it was just kind of, it was wasn't bad, just wasn't good.
Yeah, because even they had this big setup for this crazy fight at the end, and it just wasn't up to par.
Yep.
And it also didn't matter. That's one thing that is frustrating is it didn't like nothing that happened in this really mattered. The only thing that really moved the plot along was the Kojima torturing that guy.
Yep, and that's and they didn't even go into that too much because in the manga they go I'm not sure if we'll get it in the next episode, but there's repercussions for that video that he put out, and there
will. I mean, I assume that's going to move the plot along. Yeah. But it's just nothing happened. I'm the same way. That was my big thing is art took a step back again, and it just didn't matter. Like even so the last big filler one that we love so much. that didn't really have any action. I think it was episode 6 or something. A lot of people hated it. I loved it because it gave character growth. This one didn't really matter and didn't really get any character growth.
Yeah.
Didn't really care.
I mean, like, all we know... I mean, but we knew Tsukiyama was going to be up and running this episode from last episode, anyway, so that wasn't new.
That's the best thing for me, is that he's back. I love Shu Tsukiyama. I think he's hysterical.
Yeah.
In the manga and the anime, I love his character.
Yeah.
And he's more of a badass than people think, too. Like, he is...
Yeah,
like,
he's got some... He's got a big stick, and he can... definitely hit some things.
Sharp stick.
A sharp stick. A very sharp stick.
A real sharp hand stick. But yeah, no, it was cool. And so the next episode, I assume... I actually don't think is going to be really action heavy. I assume it's going to be like the setup for the actual invasion.
It's going to be like... Yeah, it's going to be like the pre-auction raid. It's going to be like that again. It's going to be...
It'll be 10, and they're doing a mid-season, so there'll be 12. They'll break until... I think winter. In winter, the second 12 will come out.
Is that how they're doing it? They're doing a Food Wars.
They're doing a Food Wars thing, yeah. At least it's 24 episodes, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I assume next episode will be the setup, and the last 2 are going to be bananas.
Yeah.
Bushels and bushels.
You know what?
Of
I wouldn't be surprised if towards the end of the episode we got into something. Like it was like we got some sort of action for the last 4 minutes of the episode, and then some sort of like.
That's it. Eto just kills Ken Kaneki. That happens. That's what's going to happen. Dragon eats him.
Eto shows up and hands out books to everybody.
Exactly.
And says, let's all just read together, guys.
She takes the bandages off. She's Akira Mato. Whoa, shit! What happened?
What the fuck?
But yeah, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I would, so this episode, all in all, I would give this episode like a 6.5. 6.
I was gonna say 6 or 7, so yeah. I mean,
it wasn't bad.
We don't really disagree on ratings too much, but like, yeah, it's just it was lukewarm. It was like coffee that you forgot that you made, and it's been sitting there for an hour and a half, and now it's just not quite as good as you wanted it to be.
Ghoul wouldn't even drink that coffee.
No, dude. Dude, do you think all ghouls are coffee snobs?
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
I think they have to be.
Like every character in the show that's drinking coffee looks at like somebody at one point and goes, "You make a great cup of coffee." I could go to any coffee shop in the world and drink it. And I'm like, this is coffee. Like that's all I have. Like just, yep, this is another cup of coffee.
I have a coffee.
It's just
what about?
water.
But you know what bad coffee tastes like, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of.
I mean, there's just bad coffee and good coffee. That's all.
But there's also good bad coffee.
No, see, that's bougie stuff.
No, it's not, because it's a diner. Like diners don't have, not all diners have good coffee, and the ones that have bad coffee, sometimes it's just like good bad coffee. It's like, yeah, exactly, but it's like, is there something about that setting where you're just like, yep, no, this is great right now. Like,
that's true. Anytime I've ever been at a diner, it's after like an all-nighter, like 6 in the morning, so I don't really give a shit. You could literally like, just plug me in the throat and just inject coffee, and that's all I need. That's about it.
I feel that. You've been working a shit ton this week on Season Deliver, right?
Yeah, my brain is fried. I shot episode 4 of Season Deliver. Well, the first part of it, I built a robot. That was fun.
Yeah. Oh, you figured all that stuff out for it?
Yeah, I figured it out. I built a robot and a bar and all this stuff. That was pretty cool. It looks dumb. It is. So it's a very like meta thing to where. So we have like very little funding, so we kind of play that up. So some of our extras aren't actually people; they're just like cardboard cutouts that we drew people onto, and we have people behind it like moving the cardboard and like running out. Because this was the Drunk History episode, and it was fucking silly, but it was a blast. I did almost murder a producer, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, it was good. I'm just tired. Ooh, frigid.
I just don't have patience for people.
I know, it's people. But yeah, so that's about all I'm doing. Just working, and my eyes are bleeding out. So yeah, Season Deliver, that's it. Also, look up, Parrish just released a new single called Sad Girl. It's very exciting.
Is it sad?
It's super depressing, actually, yeah. It's very depressing. I don't know. Boy Hero just, I think we finished up 3 songs. So those will be coming out at one point along with the one that we've been hanging on to for a while. So those you should expect to see some of that in the next month or so. But yeah, other than that, just working on that stuff. There you go.
That's life. Keeping busy.
Going to work tonight?
Yeah.
If you're in Hollywood, come to Scum and Villainy.
Staying positive.
come to the sci-fi bar. We'll buy you a shot. If you say you watch this video and you show up at the bar, I will buy you 3 drinks.
Yes. 3 drinks.
If JC's watching, I'm gonna pay for them.
If JC's watching.
Anywho, but yeah, that's it. That's the show.
Yes.
The episode's simple, so it wasn't a long one. Sorry.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Once again, we hope that next week will be on a regular-ish schedule.
Yes, I'm done filming stuff.
Okay, so yeah, because next week I
Tuesday.
have to do Tuesday.
I'm off Tuesday. We're fucking doing it normal time.
Okay, Tuesday, normal time. Tokyo Ghoul. We will be watching it, and then we will be doing it, and then I will play D&D later that night.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
Perfect. All right, y'all are beautiful people. Have a great day.
All right, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.
Good one.
Cool. And then I don't like. What is up with people today, man? They're just like
trolls.
I know, dude, but like, why? And like, I wasn't able to do like timeouts or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, it's all it does. Oh, there they are. I didn't get to do timeouts.
Roads in the way.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Yeah, people are just assholes. It's normal.
I just like.
It's the way it goes.
No, it's just. I just like. I mean, I understand like internet trolls, and I get it, but it's just like, you guys make the world a shitty place. Like, you're the people that are just like, you're just.
I mean, but you have to. They're troll. Like, you have to know that the people that are cruel